This is going to be a little bit Asian, because there are some ingredients in here. But I'm using this this noodle, which is Sichuan noodle, not Sichuan. And it's all the vegetables you see here with seafood. This is enough for 2 people. Garlic, green pepper, mushrooms, onions, savory cabbage, because it's more tender than the green. Carrots, leeks, celery, tomatoes, zucchini, and some fresh ginger. And I'm going to, certain things I'm going to slice on the mandolin, because I want them super julienne, very, very thin. And it's very difficult to do that with a knife, because these things will be added like almost towards the end. So I'm gonna cut everything up, measure it, get some water up. I'm not using any stock. And I might throw in some of my Miner's lobster base at the very end for myself, not for this recipe, because I feel like having that little flavor in there of lobster also. You know, whether you know how to cut celery or not, you can cut it any way you want, but for the appearance, I'm slicing it like so. Notice? You could dice it, you can make julienne, but I just feel like cutting it like that. Now put some moderate flame, put some peanut oil or your favorite oil in there, preferably peanut, because we're leaning towards an Asian type meal, not 100%. So we're gonna take a look. This is the way I cut anything that I could cut long and slim and very thin. I did, because they'll go well with the noodle. They'll kind of wrap themselves around the noodle, instead of the noodles just being in the pot, just laying there. It should look nice. Anyway, there's the garlic, there's the minced ginger. Peppers I just diced up. You could have made them julienne, but I didn't. I sliced the mushrooms. So we're going to put this in there, sweat that up, along with the onions, nice and fine, and the celery. Now, the thing with the savory cabbage, you don't like cabbage? Guess what? Then it doesn't belong in this recipe for you. I'm putting it in there. I like it. It cooks fast. And that's also very thin. The thing I'm holding back on until later are the tomatoes. I don't want to have the tomatoes broken up that much. So I will put the tomatoes in later. I'm also going to thicken this up a little bit with a slurry of cornstarch and water. And why? When you do that, nothing will sink to the bottom as far as the vegetables. Well, anything that's real heavy, like the clams, of course, will, and the shrimp. The basil's in there, the dry basil, sweating this up. Next thing I'm going to do is go and measure the amount of liquid. Now, if you really like a fishy stew, which this is in a way, with the vegetables, you can use fish stock. But it's up to the individual. If I had the fish stock handy, I would use it. But I'm not looking at a real fishy type like bouillabaisse taste. So we sweat this up, a little higher flame. And the noodles are sitting in a pot of cold water waiting to be drained again, and then add to this at the very end, along with the carrots and zucchini, which will take about 10 seconds to cook. I'm going to raise the flame so we can get this done real fast. Not that I'm in a rush, but you can do it because of the items that cook fast. And there goes your stock or your water. Now you know it's not enough because the noodles in volume are just about what's in there right now. And we'll also be adding the tomatoes, the carrots, the zucchini, and the seafood, which of course is going to give out liquid with a nice flavor. Right, I'm not going to waste film. We're going to bring this to a boil and simmer it for about 5-6 minutes. That's all it needs because everything is so thin. Oh, I almost forgot the white wine. So this step, just to bring it to a boil and simmering it, took about maybe 12 minutes, 13, 14, it really doesn't matter that much. Now, not all the seafood's going in. Why? Because the clams and the mussels take a few minutes to open. As soon as they open, they're ready. And then I'm going to add the scallops, the shrimps. The tomatoes are going in now. We're going to raise the flame because this stuff is going to, 1, 2, 3, just stop it from boiling since you're adding these chilled items. High flame, and the tomatoes. Some people like the tomato, they could be mushy in there, could have put them in with the vegetables earlier. They would have somewhat disintegrated, but I want to see them in there. And when this is all done, have that bay leaf get in there. I didn't want bay leaves in there. Must have been mine someplace. Look at the mussel. Mussel opened already. Okay, as soon as the clam opens, then I will add everything else. So we'll cut the film again because this will take about another minute or two. All right, now the clam is open and someone's going to make a comment why you put them in there together, because the clam took about 3 times the amount of time to open than the mussels. Shoot me! Anyway, now we're going to add this is quick now, the scallops, the shrimps, the zucchini. A very high flame, because at this point I'm going to add the slurry. The scallops are just about cooked. The shrimps will be cooked in a minute. Oh, is this nice and heavy? I like this. Yeah, the shrimps are done. Everything is done. So we're going to put in there, how about the noodles? No, first, remember I said this little slurry? Hope this is enough. This is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. I'm usually pretty good when it comes to adding this. If I need another tablespoon, which I won't, you know why? This is so heavy. We need the noodles. As long as this came to a boil, that's it, it's done. The noodles. And you'll have to be slurping this. And the pepper part, I'm using sriracha hot chili sauce. Love this stuff, so do a lot of other people. So you put that in, and then you taste it. And we are done. Now you got to get this into a bowl. And then you have to try and find the shrimps that are in there to be fair to the people who are eating it, and the clams. One final taste to make sure the salt and the pepper was correct. I could add more salt, but I'm not. And everything else is good. So you need a set of tongs to get this out. It may look like a lot, but you know what? Once you start eating this, you just can't have one bowl. Okay, that's it. I'll try and get this into the bowl. Noodles, mussel, shrimp, clam. Now worry about the broth. Get the shrimp. It's like going fishing. Why is it that the clams don't want to be found? Okay, Then after that, take some broth. You want to throw some scallions on top of that, and then sit down and enjoy this. Because that's what I'm going to do right now. Hope you enjoy it.